G-Sync and why you should buy it. First of all, for those not familiar with this new technology called G-Sync, I'll try to explain. I will not try to show you image tearing in a video, as I feel the effect's importance is somewhat lost in low FPS videos, which YouTube provide, and I will therefore show you images instead. To start off, I'd like to show you a few pictures. This first picture is a picture of so-called image tearing, which occurs in-game. It's hard to notice, but it is definitely there, and it can and will make you miss easy shots. On this particular picture, the tearing points are easy to locate as there are arrows pointing to them. Now, I want you to look at tearing point 2 and imagine that the part above the tearing point is an enemy's head and the part below is an enemy's body. Now imagine that situation in-game. Let's say you turn quickly and you rapidly try to lock onto the enemy's body so you can kill him and hit him, obviously. When you turn, you stop at where you think his body is. But if tearing occurs midway through, you might be locking onto the imaginary body, but not the actual positioning of the body. If the head is where it's supposed to be, but the body is not, your brain might be fooled during the turn. I have some more images that demonstrate this. This image is from the earliest Counter-Strike and shows clear image tearing with the box stack on sight. Imagine this tearing had been on the enemy instead of the box. Would this not potentially fuck up your aim? Your brain receiving two different positions for one enemy. I mean, how well does that work? I decided to save this image for last, not only because it is low resolution, but also because I have a shitty joke for this. No pun intended. Imagine you're going into the restroom of the restaurant you're at, and you really need to take a leak. Image tearing makes it harder to aim your yellow beam of pee at the urinal, and therefore you leave nasty leftovers for the cleanup lady. Do you hate the cleanup lady? Why are you pissing all over the place? Answer is, no V-Sync nor G-Sync. Whoa, V-Sync you say? I thought this video was about G-Sync, man. Well, it's about both. To fully understand G-Sync, you need to understand V-Sync, vertical sync. Most of the people watching this video have probably noticed a V-Sync option in various games. V-Sync caps your FPS to your monitor's refresh rate to not provide multiple images simultaneously, and because of this, no image tearing. Now, more in depth, what is V-Sync, you ask? Well, I'm no expert on computers unfortunately, but luckily I found a guy who knows a bit more than I do. User Sunius on tomshardware.co.uk explains it as this. Vertical sync makes sure that the monitor only changes the image if it can change the whole frame. If your graphics card is done painting only 5/6 of the frame, it will wait until the next refresh rate to draw it. This is interesting. This means that vertical sync delays frames until your GPU is capable of producing a full image and therefore no tearing points will appear. This sounds great, doesn't it? Not quite. The problem with V-Sync is just that. It delays frames. Delaying images will mean that when stuff happens, you have to wait for a bit to see it. This phenomenon is called input lag. While this is no big issue in single-player games, where the visual experience is of utmost importance, it is a huge problem in multiplayer games, as this will give a distinct disadvantage. This would be the equivalent of playing games with a high ping. Doesn't sound too appealing, does it? In some games like Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which I play, you can choose to capture FPS to a number slightly under your monitor's refresh rate. I can't really explain why this works, but it removes a whole lot of the input lag. For example, I used to play with vertical sync because I missed a lot of easy shots without it, and I would cap my FPS at 119.9 while playing with a 120Hz monitor. To understand the disadvantages of this, I want you to imagine an enemy player running out from a wall and you waiting for him to pop out. If your cursor is not directly on your enemy when he pops out, you have to move your mouse. Because of the input lag, your mouse movement does not match when your point of view changes in game, and therefore your enemy, who in this case plays without vertical sync, will be faster at dragging his cursor onto you, because for him, there is no input lag. Also, as a side note, something I noticed is that if you like to play at a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is very popular in high-level play in CSGO, V-Sync will cap your FPS at 100, no matter your monitor's refresh rate. So we're about to hit the end of the road, G-Sync. We have no vertical sync, which has no input lag but has image tearing, versus vertical sync on, which has no image tearing but has input lag. G-Sync is essentially like that Hannah Montana song. You really do get the best of both worlds. If you still can't quite grasp how G-Sync works and why it is so important, I'll try to explain it in another way. Vertical sync off causes tearing. This is because your monitor has a set refresh rate while the GPU refreshes frames randomly. This means that your GPU will occasionally output multiple frames during the time period that your monitor refreshes once. Multiple images on top of each other causes tearing, as shown by the picture on the screen. With vertical sync on, the GPU only outputs images when a full image is available. If you look at the picture, you'll notice that draw number 2 stretches over 2 monitor scans, and there is therefore a long time with no new frame. This causes lag and stutter, which is something you definitely want to avoid. On this picture showing how Nvidia's G-Sync technology works, you'll notice that the draws and scans match up. This is because G-Sync monitors have a built-in device that tells the monitor when the GPU is done rendering a frame, which triggers a monitor refresh. This means that you do not get tearing, as multiple images will not be shown simultaneously, but you also get rid of the pesky stutter and lag. I have had a G-Sync monitor for a bit over a week now, and even though they come equipped with a heavy price tag, I feel it really is worth it. But I hope you have enjoyed this video, guys. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you haven't. My name is NATO Safix, and I'll see you in the next video.